You know, sometimes there are these moments in music, right? They just feel, well, monumental. Like everyone who is there, or maybe even just heard about it, they just kind of know something special happened.
Yeah, shared experience almost.
Exactly. And for electronic music fans, well, EDC Las Vegas 2025 definitely had one of those moments.
Ah, you're talking about Tiesto.
Yes. Tiesto himself. Taking everyone back, like way back to his trance roots with an In Search of Sunrise set.
It was huge news. And really, seeing an artist like him revisit such a core part of his history.
On that stage.
On one of the biggest stages in the world, yeah. So in this deep dive, we're going to unpack that performance. We've got some info from an EMA Podcast report and the actual track list from the set.
Okay.
And our goal really is to get why this In Search of Sunrise set was so significant, for Tiesto's own journey, for trance music overall.
And for the fans, obviously, pinpointing those key moments.
Exactly, those moments that got everyone talking.
Okay, so to really get the impact, maybe we should rewind a bit, back to the beginning.
Good idea.
Because for a lot of people, Tiesto is trance, or at least he was hugely formative. Can you sort of sketch out that early connection for us and this whole In Search of Sunrise thing?
Definitely. So back in the late 90s, early 2000s, Tiesto's impact was massive, and it was absolutely centered on trance music.
Right.
He was really a driving force behind that melodic, euphoric sound. I think big soaring melodies, uplifting vibes.
Classic trance sound.
Totally. And then 1999, that's when In Search of Sunrise kicked off. It was under Black Hole Recordings.
Which was a pretty big deal in trance circles.
Huge. And this series, ISOS, it quickly became more than just like a mix CD. It was designed as this whole immersive experience.
Capturing that sunrise feeling, like the name suggests.
Precisely. That feeling of like new beginnings, potential. It wasn't just about throwing tracks together. It was about creating this continuous flow, this journey, telling a story with music.
Evoking that rising sun energy.
Yeah, both literally and, metaphorically, energy, emotion.
And Tiesto wasn't just like tangentially involved. He was the sound of early ISOs, wasn't he?
Oh, completely. He mixed the first 7 volumes himself.
7?
Yeah. And those early ones are really cherished, for that deep atmospheric sound, that specific mood they create.
Not just club bangers, then.
No, not at all. Much more intricate, like soundscapes that properly transport you.
Okay, got it. So let's fast forward. EDC Las Vegas 2025. I mean, that festival is just colossal every year.
It really is. Always a massive buzz around it.
And 2025, the theme was Kinetic Metropolis. Sounds pretty epic.
Yeah, the organizers called it a city built on sound, which, given the scale...
Makes sense. How big are we talking?
Well, reports mention 16 stages, over 250 artists. It's just vast. The energy must have been insane.
16 stages, and for this very special, very nostalgic set, he played the main stage, Kinetic Field.
He did, yeah.
That feels significant in itself, doesn't it? Like a statement.
It absolutely is. Kinetic Field is, the heart of EDC, biggest crowds.
Yeah.
Putting an ISOS set there.
Yeah. What does that signal?
It signals this wasn't just some side stage curiosity for old school fans. This was positioned as a major event for everyone, a core part of the festival. It says this sound, this history still matters on the biggest platform.
Okay. So Tiesto's obviously explored tons of sounds over the years, found huge success elsewhere. Why was this set, this return to ISOS, such a massive deal? Why all the hype?
That's really the core of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
While he has branched out massively, this felt very deliberate. A really meaningful nod back to the sound that so many of his original fans fell in love with.
So more than just playing old tracks.
Much more. It felt like a tribute, to his own beginnings and to the essence of classic trance. The EMA report actually mentioned it alongside other things at the festival, like the revamped Quantum Valley stage, which is all trance, and a new stage, Ubuntu, for Afro House. It suggested maybe a wider trend at the festival, appreciating the roots and diversity of electronic music.
It's interesting. So maybe a hunger for artists to connect with their origins.
Possibly, yeah. That EMA report hinted that maybe longtime fans are looking for that acknowledgement amidst all the new sounds. So Tiesto doing this right now really hit a nerve.
It sounds like it must have been super emotional for a lot of people there. What was the buzz like beforehand? The fan reaction?
Oh, the anticipation was off the charts. You had fans saying they'd waited years, some even saying nearly 2 decades.
Wow.
To hear him play that kind of set again, especially somewhere like EDC, the EMA source mentioned, that even though he's explored other genres, that trance connection never fully went away.
Like those recent prismatic sets, the longer melodic ones.
Exactly. They touched on similar vibes, maybe. But this ISOS set, that was specific. It was the callback everyone seemed to be waiting for.
And the actual reactions after the set.
Yeah.
The podcast mentioned some intense stuff.
Oh, absolutely. Social media, Reddit, it just blew up. People were sharing really personal stories. Well, one person wrote about listening to ISOS back in high school, how it basically got them into dance music.
Their gateway drug.
Pretty much. And they were just floored, couldn't believe they were finally seeing it live after nearly 20 years.
That's amazing.
And another reaction, it was really powerful. Someone described finding ISOS volumes 1 to 3 during a tough time.
Yeah.
And said it was genuinely life-changing. Gave them a sense of, like, spirituality and emotional anchor they needed. It just shows how deep this music runs for people.
Wow. Yeah, that really drives home the connection people have with those early mixes. It's more than just music.
Definitely. Moments like that, they remind you of music's real power, don't they?
Absolutely. Okay, so let's get into the music itself. We've got the track list. Were there specific tracks that you think really hit that nostalgia button hard for the longtime fan?
Oh, for sure. Looking through this list, yeah. Several just jump out as pure classic ISOS.
Like which ones?
Well, you've got York Reaches to Civilization, the Tiesto remix, obviously.
A cornerstone.
Totally. And Imogen Heap's Hide and Seek, the Tiesto ISOS remix, or edit. Both just scream that early 2000s melodic, emotive trance sound.
Yeah, Reachers has that dragging bass, but also that melancholy melody.
Exactly. That's the vibe. That's pure early ISOS right there.
Okay, what else stood out on that list as a potential highlight?
Karen Overton, Your Loving Arms. That vocal.
They're instantly recognizable.
Every trance fan knows it. So much emotion packed in there. And Rui da Silva featuring Cassandra Fox, Touch Me, the Tiesto remix.
Oh, another massive one. Pure euphoria.
Undeniable energy, yeah. Then there's Mecca Diamondback, the Tiesto remix that's a proper driving anthem.
Right.
And Saltank Eugenia, the Michael Woods remix, Tiesto edit. Beautiful, ethereal stuff. Would have created such an atmosphere. These are the tracks that really define that whole feeling.
It's just reading the names takes you back, doesn't it?
It really does. And then, okay, BT featuring Jan Johnston, Mercury and Solace. Absolutely timeless. So powerful emotionally. And Alan and Kane, Open Your Eyes, the Reworked Club mix. Again, Tiesto edit. Another huge fan favorite. That hypnotic groove.
Just pulls you right in.
Totally.
And I see something interesting here. A 2025 remix.
Yeah. Paul Oakenfold, featuring Carla Werner's Southern Sun, but listed as a Tiesto 2025 remix.
Oh, cool. So blending the old and new.
Exactly. A great way to bridge the gap, right?
Yeah.
Familiar tune, but with a fresh energy.
Definitely.
And of course, you absolutely have to mention Delirium, featuring Sarah McLachlan's Silence.
Oh.
The Tiesto In Search of Sunrise remix is iconic.
A ultimate ISOS anthem for many.
Pretty much. And the track list mentions the possibility of a new 2025 ISOS remix of Silence, too. Imagine the reaction to that.
Whoa, that would have been insane.
Right. So you're taking together these tracks. They're the heart and soul of those early compilations. They would have hit deep, sparked massive nostalgia, pure joy for anyone who followed him from the start.
So putting it all together then, the history, the stage, the tracks, the reactions, what's the big picture takeaway, the overall significance of this set?
I think it was genuinely more than just another DJ set. It felt like a significant cultural moment. You know, for the whole electronic music community. As this major artist, this icon, paying genuine respect to his own history and to a genre that still means so much to so many people. It was a connection point.
Connection point. I like that.
Yeah, and for so many people actually there, it was clearly a chance to like relive amazing memories, reconnect with the music that first got them hooked. The EMA report called it a standout moment of the whole festival.
Yeah.
Yeah, this powerful mix of musical history and the present moment resonated really strongly.
Absolutely. It really sounds like one for the books, a truly special occasion for everyone involved. So, wrapping up this deep dive on Tiesto's ISOS set at EDC 2025, it just highlights, doesn't it, the lasting power of trance music, its enduring appeal.
And that incredible bond artists can have with the sounds that, you know, not only shape their careers, but also shape the musical lives of their fans.
Totally.
Which actually leads to maybe a question for you listening.
Oh.
Yeah, think about it. What genre, or maybe what specific artist, was really formative for your early music discoveries? And what would it actually mean to you if you saw them revisit that original sound today?
That's a great question. That feeling when an artist celebrates their roots.
It's powerful, right?
Yeah.
Creates a unique connection.
Definitely something to think about. Well, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into what sounds like a truly unforgettable moment in electronic music.
Our pleasure. Until next time.